We will. Can somebody make a motion to go back into open session?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Alderman Barzak, second by Alderman May. Any objections? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We are back in open session. Can invite Mr. Yauk back in.
That's what it is.
And anybody else who might be out there?
Still two people.
Okay.
Don't let it bounce.
Workman's comp's coming up.
Okay. We are back to the item, the previous matter. Somebody want to make a motion?
We're waiting for Kale to
Oh, okay.
drop the proper language.
Okay, well, that's being done. If I could just take a minute to thank staff publicly. I know I did it at our department head and division head meeting on Tuesday morning, but for the past couple of weeks, we have had a lot of very dedicated and talented and skilled staff pour a lot of hours of their regular workday and beyond into this project and putting out fires of a lot of concerns of elected officials and trying to get the best possible situation for the neighbors, for the city, for the future, for the taxpayers. So I really want to thank Peggy, for one, from our finance department, and Chris and her team for what they've done. I want to thank John and Patrick and Sean for all the hours that they've put in on getting this to where we hoped it would get to. And I want to thank the alderpersons of the district as well as the city as a whole for their continued scrutiny and communication and concern and doing the best that they could do in representing their district as well as the future development for the city. So very thankful for that, very appreciated. We've got a lot of talent on our team, and you continue to make us all look respectable and decent and things like this, and the city attorney too. I know you're typing, so I don't want to talk about you too much, but you putting in the hours to review this over and over is very much appreciated as well, so thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Alderman Batali?
Alderman Chapuska says I'm talking too much, but
He's been saying that for 22 years, Vince.
but anyway, really, I mean, as long as we have a little time, I vividly recall that back in 1988, 89, of course, with the development directed by Mr. Stiebel, you know, at that time with the Alan Chalmers destiny, what really occurred, there were some objections, you know, there were a lot of, you know, people or, you know, not being in favor the city get involved with the this new development or redevelopment of the Alan Chalmers, you know, which in overall really was very successful for the city of West Allis. You know, just like the south portion was a blighted, it was about 7, 8, or 9 taverns, you know. Then behind the taverns was a lot of depleted old buildings, you know. So again, at that time, I think Mr. Stiebel really did a good job to finalize all that development, which has been beneficial to us, really, in many ways, you know. So, and I think we'll continue, I think, at this point, to do just as well.
Thank you.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Weigel?
I want to thank the citizens and the neighbors. They came out and showed us exactly how important that McKinley Park is to us and them, how important it is to the health of our community. I'm glad that we listened to them. I want to thank the people who circulated the petitions. And I know we sit here every 2 weeks and people stand up and talk, but I know that for a lot of people it's difficult to get up and sit or to speak in public. for that 10 or 12 people who spoke and sent the message to all of us how important this park is. I'm going to say a couple things. Thank you. Thank you to the residents and the neighbors and everybody there. I do want to say something about this development. I still have concerns. I think it's probably our most expensive development that we've done to date. Is that correct? Okay. And it's expensive not just in terms of real dollars that we're going to have in the TIF, but I think it's also our biggest participation percentage in it, because I think we're at like 50% of the upfront, roughly. It's expensive in terms of our risk window. We did shorten the risk window in the negotiation process in the last couple days, where we, at least on the hotel side of it, we got the hotel construction pushed up, but we still have what I see as a very long risk window on this. It's also expensive in terms of impact to the community. The park itself may look substantially, the park may be untouched for years. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen there. We've negotiated to get what I guess is going to be acceptable. I mean, it was a negotiation. We're going to, I think even today we added, I think if we end up with a smaller version of a park, it's still going to be, we got the biggest small park we're going to have, in the worst case scenario. But in the best case scenario, the park's going to be probably almost as big as it currently is, and ideally in a couple of years it will have all new facilities in it. So like I said, this is a very expensive development for the community, but it's what we're going to end up with, it looks like. So that's what I have to say on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I will make the following motion as provided by the legalese of our city attorney. I move to amend Exhibit J to include the vacated Walker Street east of 72nd Street to the right property line of McKinley Park. Article 2, Paragraph D, to replace the 90% with the words a percentage. Article 2, Paragraph G, replace the 90% with the words a percentage. Any references within the agreement to 6% per annum interest to commercially reasonable rate of interest. Article 1, Paragraph C, Section 2, to replace provided, however, that WQE, parent, with provided, however, that the park lease shall not terminate in WQE, et cetera, parent. I so move.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If there's no other discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Barzak.
Aye.
Chapletsky.
Aye.
Oidenayer.
No.
Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
No.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
No.
That's 7 yeses and 3 nos.
Motion carries.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move that we adjourn until our next regularly scheduled meeting, Monday, April 1st at 7 p.m.
Second.
There is a motion with a second by Alderwoman Ranky. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? We are adjourned.